Hi guys, my name's Moriah and welcome to my channel. So I'm going to be doing a tattoo tour today, as you would have seen by the title. I've been wanting to do one of these since I started getting tattoos, but I was like, hold up, wait a minute, you need to wait until you get a few tattoos before making this sort of video. And I thought now was a perfect time. As you guys know, a lot of things are put on hold at the moment because there is a pandemic going on around the world. Yeah, it's a crazy time. So yeah, I won't be getting any tattoos for a while, so I thought it would be a good time to film this video because it could be at least another 6 months before I get anything else added onto my body. I just wanted to do a quick disclaimer as well. So tattoos can be quite a controversial topic. I would suggest, if you don't agree with putting tattoos on your body, especially if they don't have a meaning of any kind, then to just click off this video because it is my body and yeah, it's not affecting you. It's up to me what I do to my body. So yeah, if you don't agree, please just click off the video. Alright, let's jump into this video. I'm excited. I've got everything in my phone from the very first time I got a tattoo, so the dates and the prices and all of that. So between July 2018 when I started and now I currently have 9 tattoos. So the first tattoo I got was when I was 22 years old in 2018, and it was for my sister-in-law Shani's birthday. Shani, Bane, which is Shani's sister, and myself, we all got tattoos that day, and I got my first tattoo, which is this one on my finger. If you guys can see, it is a cross. I really liked the look of finger tattoos. I just thought they looked really cool. I went into getting tattoos wanting them to be meaningful, but that has changed over time. I'm not too bothered by that now. My first tattoo, I wanted it to be meaningful, and so I got a cross because I'm a Christian and I just wanted something to resemble that. And yeah, I've got quite a few tattoos that resemble my beliefs in God. So yeah, that was my first one. Bane, my sister-in-law, she had gotten one tattoo before, and it was a finger tattoo as well. It was a little love heart, and she got it done at a place in Rockingham, so we went there to get our tattoos done. It was $120 an hour, which to me now, if I thought it through, I could have got a couple of tattoos, but it being my first, I wasn't brave enough to do that. So it was $120 for this tiny little cross. They do free touch-ups there, so I did have it touched up I think 3 times in total. When it comes to rating the pain, I think that's really hard to say because obviously everyone has different pain thresholds or pain tolerances. I think that when people say it hurts more in certain spots, that can be true, but I think it is more so if you're sitting there for a long period of time and you're having a big piece done, that's when it hurts because they're going over and over and over the same area, and it becomes really raw, and then it becomes painful and starts feeling like a really bad sunburn. People say, you know, your fingers really hurt, blah blah blah. It's such a tiny tattoo that I don't think it hurt, in my opinion. I only find it painful when I'm sitting there for hours. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Moving on to my second tattoo, I also had it done at that same place in Rockingham. If you guys can see that there, that's my second tattoo, that little dove up there. So straight after I got my first tattoo done, I already wanted another one. So I found this little tattoo of a dove and I thought, yes, I really want to get that done. And it was super fine line and I just loved how it looked. 2 weeks later, I went back and I got the dove done on my wrist. Doves are in the Bible, so that is why I got that one done. I did go back a few weeks later and get it touched up because they do the free touch-ups. When I first started, I didn't understand you don't have to get touch-ups, and I don't think everywhere does that, the whole free touch-up thing. So I thought because they do free touch-ups that you should just go back and get it touched up. You definitely don't need to do that. Since having those 2 first ones done, I haven't had any of my tattoos touched up. If your tattoo looks fine, you definitely don't need to get it touched up. I think with my finger, it was important because tattoos rub off your fingers really easily. So it was important to go back a few times for that. For my wrist, when I went back to get it touched up, I definitely didn't like how it looked as much. It was so fine line the first time I got it done, and when you go back in there and touch it up, it definitely made it, the line wasn't as fine. It sort of seemed like it bled a bit as well, like the actual ink bled a bit. Yeah, I just didn't like the look of it as much. I still like the tattoo, of course, but yeah, I definitely learnt over time that you don't just have to go back and get a touch up just because they offer free touch up. The next tattoo I got has a really meaningful story behind it. I had it done in the Gold Coast. Me and one of my workmates got sent over there and we got to go to a conference. The conference was at SeaWorld and I'd never been over to the Gold Coast before. It was an amazing trip. On our last night, we went into Surfers Paradise and we had dinner. It was such a cool like atmosphere, like everyone was out on the town and it was Halloween, so people were dressed up. We were sitting there having dinner. I saw a tattoo parlor like over the road and then I was like, oh my gosh, like I should get a tattoo while I'm here, like make it part of my memories of being here. This is the tattoo I got, this little bee. I had been wanting to get a bee for a while. Like I already knew that I wanted to get a bee. It was just a spontaneous thing. The bee doesn't mean anything except for the fact that I got it while I was at the Gold Coast. Anyway, so I didn't go to that tattoo parlor over the road. I did research while we were sitting there having dinner and found a good place to go. The one that I ended up going to was like a 6-minute walk away. So we walked there and went in. They could have fitted me in while we were there, but I actually forgot my driver's license. So I was like, oh no. I couldn't get it done. We needed to go back to SeaWorld on time to like our accommodation because our flight was at like 4 in the morning, so we needed to go to bed on time. So we're just like, okay, it's not meant to be, this really sucks. And we went back to our accommodation. We got back to the room and I was like, no, like I really want to get this done. I rang up and I said, is there any chance like I could come back and like I'll bring my driver's license, my ID, can I get it done? And they said that I could come back at 10:45. So pretty late at night. I had to go back by myself because my girlfriend wanted to get to bed, and so yeah, I showered and everything so I wouldn't have to do that when I got home. I was so proud of myself because I called an Uber and I went there by myself, got my tattoo done. It took about 15 minutes and it was $160. I'm from the country in a small town, so for me to go out there in the city by myself at night when it was so busy and it was Halloween, I was just really proud of myself for doing that. The next tattoo I got was my first bigger piece and I got it in December of 2018. I was super nervous because I was like, am I going to be able to do this? It took 2.5 hours. Is this lion here? So this is called a realism, this type of tattooing. I had this one done closer by to me because as I said, I live in the country, so I don't go to Perth very often. At Tender Point Tattoos, he is amazing. His name is Doug. He did that for me. I had sent him a photo of what I wanted and he actually changed the lion's face for me because the lion I sent him looked quite angry and he changed it to a more friendly face, which I thought was really cool. That one cost me $380. He charges $150 an hour. It took 2.5 hours. I do remember it started to feel really sunburnt and sore by like the 2-hour mark. I was really feeling it by then. I always bring headphones and pre-download shows so I can just sit there and watch some episodes while I'm getting my tattoo done. The meaning behind my line, I don't think anyone's ever asked me before. The reason I got a line is religious reasons. You guys might have heard of this movie before. It's called The Chronicles of Narnia. I watched it as a kid and I didn't really understand the meaning behind it until I rewatched it again as an adult. And when I watched it as an adult, I was just so amazed by the movie. I just think it's such a great series of movies. So the lion in the movie is called Aslan, and Aslan is meant to be like Jesus. So it's a different sort of scenario of like the Bible. The lion in the movie, Aslan, gets killed on the stone table. He takes the pain and the humiliation and all of that so that the child that had done wrong didn't have to. And he comes back to life again like 3 days later, just like in the Bible, when Jesus dies on the cross. It's an incredible movie, and I cried so much watching it as an adult, and it just really means a lot to me. So yeah, that's why I got the lion. So to me it is like Aslan on my arm. So in 2019 in February I went back to Doug and he did my rose. That is the first colour tattoo I got, just in red ink. And he also did this one here on the back of my arm, the pinky promise one. By this point I thought, okay, like be smart, and I got the 2 tattoos done in an hour. So I got them both done for $150, and then I did get 10% off as well because he was having a special sale. They don't really have any meaning. Really love this one. I get quite a lot of compliments on this little one here. Yeah, I think the red ink is really nice. I'll probably get something else in red ink one day. My next tattoo was a bigger piece again. I had a tattoo done for my birthday in June. This was the biggest piece that I had so far. At that point, I am absolutely obsessed with plants, and I really wanted to get something to represent that, like something bigger than this little thing. Yeah, so that's where my head was at. I wanted to sort of start a sleeve. So the way this one was done was I had a bunch of like inspirational pictures of what I wanted, and I sent them to Doug, and then I sent him other photos of particular flowers that I wanted to be added into it so that he could create something with everything that I wanted in it. Ended up looking like this. You guys can see. So I've got 2 peonies here, big peonies, and then I wanted to get sunflowers in there. So I've got a few sunflowers in there, and cherry blossoms. I wanted them in there as well. I have to say this is definitely one of my favorite tattoos, if not my favorite. So all up it cost me $570, and it was the longest tattoo I've had. It took 3.5 hours. It was just so worth it. I absolutely love how this tattoo looks. It's just so pretty and so detailed. Like there's so much going on. In December of 2019 I had my eyebrows tattooed, so I'll try come in and show you guys. So this is my eyebrows. They don't have anything on them besides clear brow gel at the moment. Had them tattooed in Perth at a Touch of Brow. I had been following a Touch of Brow for years, and she just does such amazing work. I waited 6 months before getting my eyebrows done, and it's honestly the best thing I've ever done. I love how they look. They look amazing. I think this took about 1.5 hours to get my eyebrows done. It cost me $560, but the reason I booked in when I did was because she had hit so many followers on Instagram and was having 20% off. So I was like, oh my god, like when is this ever going to happen again? I need to book in now. So I booked it in. I saved myself over $100. Moving on to my last tattoo, the one that I got this year in January, is my shoulder piece, or shoulder slash arm piece just here. I really wanted this arm to be like a sleeve, so I'm slowly adding pieces to it, and I'll probably get this middle piece done next. I went back to Doug again for this, and honestly I'll keep going back to him. He is so good. So I wanted to get this done to continue on with the same sort of theme going on down the bottom. So I wanted to get some more flowers. So I've got peonies all on my arm, and then I got Doug to add in the butterfly for me. So we went back and forth. He sent me a few different drawings until we got the correct size that I wanted. The outside of the wings are black, so it makes it really pop. So it's not just hidden in there, you can actually see it. And I really love this piece. I just love that it adds to my original piece, and I can't wait to get the middle bit done as well and have it all joining. This one took 3 hours. It cost me $500, including the drawing fee again, because he had to draw this up and he added in the butterfly as well for me. That is all of my tattoos, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see me again, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.